Today we had the opportunity to check out a fantastic title for Shield tablet called Strike Suit Zero. It's an amazing game that blends a lot of different genres, including space combat, anime, and many more. Let's go take a look.
Okay, so Strike Suit Zero is a high-action space combat game influenced by games that we really enjoyed as a team, such as Wing Commander, Elite, X-Wing vs TIE Fighter, Colony Wars, but also blending in other things that we enjoyed that we really wanted to input, such as Macross, Gundam, Zone of the Enders. So instead of just space combat being very classically running around chasing the tail of other spacecraft, we actually transform into a giant death-dealing space robot at times, and then back to a spacecraft to take on not just one enemy, but multiple enemies in one go. So much more exciting, much more fast-paced than your average space combat game, and beautiful as well. So the combat in Strike Suit Zero is, I suppose, a blend of a sim and a high-action arcade game. It has a mixture of both in there. There's times where you're in your, I suppose, your standard spaceship mode, which is a little bit more simmy, but it's still more of the arcade end of the spectrum, I suppose. But when you turn into the strike suit, when you build up enough energy to turn into the strike suit, it becomes all-out arcade, because you effectively become a giant death-dealing turret in space with multiple weapon systems that lock onto lots of enemies at once and create shards and shards of missiles. So at that time you feel like you're in, an arcade game of old, and you've pressed the massive power-up button and done everything you wanted to do. So developing on Shield has been fantastic. We've worked very hard alongside NVIDIA as they've supplied the newer and newer hardware as the platform has developed, because we've been working with this for quite some time. Developing on the hardware has been amazing because the power is quite incredible. I mean, we aimed our game at high-end PCs and aimed it at the next generation of consoles, and yet here we are now with a tablet that's mimicking that power, that we can put hundreds of spaceships on screen and have masses of action in your hands on a tablet. NVIDIA have been great to work with. We've had a great time. The feedback has been good. They've been very generous with the hardware, giving us lots of updates. Working very hard with the team on the low-level tech, making sure that everything that they've learned about how to make the game better for the Shield, they've told us and put that into our game and made it better every day. And in general, what they've done with the K1 chipset is amazing, is incredible. And we hope to carry on working with NVIDIA a hell of a lot in the future. So the one thing I'd love to tell people about Strike Suit Zero is, it really is a blend of all your favourite space combat games, anime, movies, all the things that you love rolled into one, creating an awesome flurry of action, and now in the palm of your hands. And I think you'll be amazed by the power of what you'll see, because it looks as good as something on high-end PC and console. It's amazing.